Hello and welcome back to the finish line and our weekend preview where we're going to go through all the Cheltenham Festival trials from Cheltenham and 2 or 3 from Doncaster. So, as always, Dave and Thomas here and Andrew Blair-White is back. Lads, what's the crack? How are we? How's everyone?
Good.
Stressed, pissed off. Whole lot of everything, right?
Tom's had a great last 15 minutes.
We are 20 minutes late. We're 20 minutes late because my bloody internet wouldn't work. And then I had to go and get more alcohol. So I finished my wine and I'm now drinking cider out of a wine glass. So it's one of those days, lads. One of those
days. It's okay, Tom. It's okay. At least your horse got sold out. The one that you didn't even mention. See the way I put that in there? That was unreal.
That was a nice little link, that. Yeah, it's insane. We got a horse. So I wasn't on Sunday. We were finalising the details of the lease last week, so I didn't want to mention anything until we got everything sorted. And launched her on our website on Friday, and she sold out this afternoon. So she's pretty, without after timing now, she's pretty exciting. She's called Alice Averill. She won a claimer at Poe the week before last by 6 lengths. The second actually came out and won a claimer by 12 lengths there today. So the form looks solid. But she's only just turned 4. She's rated 125. And the best bit is she is a half sister to Grand Sancy and the legend that is Kescon Risk. So I loved Kescon Risk before.
Legend that's Kescon Risk.
I loved Kescon Risk after his bumper, and especially after his main hurdle.
Legend now, apparently.
We got killed over something about Royal Puggy being a legend, and all of a sudden, this thing that hasn't even done anything yet.
I love Kescon Risk.
Blasphemy, Thomas.
Kescon Risk has done more than Royal Puggy. Kescon Risk has been placed in a Grade 1, so.
What's he rated?
No idea.
Right, who cares? I'm not getting into this.
Too good. But no, joking aside, if you want to, it's kind of gone away now that we sent it out to our members and stuff and our email list. So if you want to find out about our next horse, because we're obviously looking for another one now, my email is tom@pimlicoracing.co.uk. Andrew will put it in the description, and we'll pop you on our email list. You better put it in the description.
Can you get a grey one?
Get a grey one. Yeah, you don't have a grey one. You have fillies, you have mare, and you have geldings.
Get a grey one.
We need a grey one.
We need a grey one next. Yeah, a grey one would be cool. Yeah, we're just looking in France for more. It just seems to be the route to go at the minute. So.
In other words, no, Dave, we're not getting a grey one.
No.
No, I'd love a grey one.
Yeah, we get a grey one. Fuck off.
You need a grey. You need a grey one, and it has to be called Neptune something. Neptune has to be his first name, or it's no good.
I'm not getting a grey one that's rated 80. Though. I'm getting if we're getting a good one, it's gonna be a good one. So
proper French name like Au Petit Soin. One of them kind of ones.
Oh, Petit Soin, yeah.
That's an awful name for an
not
awful
a
horse.
German name, anyway.
Go on, Dave. What's our horse called?
The actual horse that we have, or a made-up one?
The horse we actually have. What do we made up one?
Shauna.
You off your meds again?
Sean Ashot.
It's suddenly Irish. Oh, brilliant.
I'm sticking with Shauna Ausick.
Shauna Ausick. You have to pronounce it.
Shauna is just so much easier. Anybody ask me what's her horse name? Shauna. That's not what I said in the paper. Don't worry about it.
Fake news. All fake news.
Seems to be the easier.
What?
Shauna or SA is what I call her. So.
SA?
SA makes her sound faster, doesn't it?
Yeah, makes her sound like a sprinter.
Yeah.
And Henry's now the retained trainer, I see. You got a nice little piece on his website.
Well, yeah, like we think it's a good angle. He's a hell of a good trainer, so we're happy to have horses there. He's done well with Shona so far. So yeah, I think we'll definitely have some more horses there.
So we're definitely getting a Cheltenham Festival winner, lads. It's written in the stars. Don't worry.
Well, if you keep buying enough 4-year-olds rate 125 who are half sisters to Grade 1 horses, you'll get a Cheltenham winner eventually.
So this one is a Cheltenham winner, you're saying? See, if you read between the lines of what Tom says, this one is going to win at Cheltenham.
No, if we buy 10 of those, one of them will win at Cheltenham, I imagine. So.
Just find another name, we're all good then. Right, we get on to racing. We start off with Gowran. That's actually on tomorrow, the Cheltenham Chase, which I'm absolutely cracking. It's the first time in 9 years that I can't go and breathe. I'll be like Tom tomorrow and I'll be drinking at 2 o'clock in the day. It's a change because when I go up there, I start drinking at 10:30 at the pub at the corner up in Gowran. Can't remember the name of it.
It's a great day out. It really is. Like.
It's a great little pub as well.
Yeah, it is. It's a good pub.
Right, we start with the Galmoy. Grade 2, 3 mile hurdle. So the field is Great White Shark is 3-1, 6 shooter 6s, DL Kerr 13-2, Bacardi's 8s, Durasso 8s, Sam Profile 8s, Burrow St. 9s, and 11-1, Big of the rest. Who wants to take it? Who wants to start?
I'll do it, sure.
Nobody.
I don't like this race. So I won't take long.
It's a Galmoy hurdle. Who gives a shit, Andrew?
No, but there's usually a decent horse in this. Like, it was good last year with Benny. We had a good back and forth about. I know I was strong on Benny last year. Then I didn't even back her. That really annoyed me. Remember that when we were up at the track?
Hey, why didn't you back her?
Oh man, I was queuing up at the bank machine. I fucked up the times. Oh, don't worry about it anyway. I think DL Kerr might have a chance of winning this. I don't know. I wouldn't be too strong on Great White Shark, even though Willie Mullins seems to be banging in winners. But it'd be DL Kerr for me, but not a strong bet or strong opinion.
Andrew, what's your view on it?
Yeah, no, I thought this was a pretty crap race, to be honest. Great White Shark wouldn't be, for me, she's probably going to be hard to beat with the mare's allowance because I don't think the majority of the rest of them are up to a whole pile. People are still clinging on to DL Kerr just because he beat Monkfish a year and a half ago. Like, times change. Monkfish has gone much better since then. I'd give a chance to the other Mead horse, 6-shooter. Similar enough to Dave, though, not a real massive plan. I just think the third decided Burley is probably the best form on offer this year in terms of hurdles in the race. Don't like horses that are failed chasers going back hurdling at this level. So DL Kerr, Sam's Profile, they wouldn't be for me in a race like this. But 6-shooters would be my selection, but probably a race I wouldn't have a bet in.
Who are you going with, Tom?
I was actually going to take a chance on Sam's Profile. He actually beat DL Kerr in his point-to-point first time. He looked very good last year. Placed in a couple of nice races and ran respectably at Cheltenham. Didn't take to chasing. Tried to absolutely murder himself at Fairless.
That was a sight to behold.
It was mental. Thankfully, he was okay though. He then finished respectable third, only beaten 11 lengths by Monkfish. I think he was about 8-1. I'd take a small chance each way on him, but yeah, a race I wouldn't be rushing to have a bet in either.
Yeah, it's not a vintage lineup. It's usually a decent race every year. Like Great White Shark, she's getting the mare's allowance. She's won the English Czar, which she was 2 1/4 lengths behind Princess Zoe, the Premier Handicap. She was her last hurdle run. She was 3 lengths behind that wonder mare, Dave. Indefatigable or whatever. How would you say that? That one. That yoke there. Too many syllables in that. Look, she has decent form. She's short of 3-1 for what she's done. I agree with Andrew. 6-shooter was the one for me in this. He came back from a long enough break to win at Punchestown, and he was then went on to be 3 3/4 lengths behind Sawyer Burley, which Andrew said is probably the best form on offer. Jumping is a bit of a concern, but on the bottomless ground around Gowran this time of year, they'd be going a slow enough pace, but he'd probably get away with it. I think Step Up and Trip again suit him. His win was over 2.5, but he looked like he enjoyed Step Up and Trip the last day. Okay, he's 7-8 to 1 in the place. He's watching each way bet if you had it. if you had a little better, one who you probably can't keep out of these races, Bacardi. If he comes back to anywhere near his best, he'll put it up to him. Burr Saint is also another interesting one. He was touted for the Irish Grand National, or he won the Irish Grand National, should I say, and he was touted for the English one last year. Won his hurdle race, was the one with Sergeant John in it, where he fell, and then did no show the last time. But these are conditions and a distance that he's going to eat up. So if he gets let loose in the front like he did, I think it was at Punchestown or somewhere like that, he'll be hard to keep up with the frame. But I think 6 shooters is improving. He's only a 6-year-old still. He's still a lot of improvement in him. Yeah, I'd give him a chance of 6-1. Now, on to the Toesties. 3 mile one. This is always an absolute puzzle. So we have Acapella Bourgeois is favourite at 13-2, along with Spyglass Hill, then with Brahma Bull, Cocoa Beach, Any Second Now, 10-10. Smoking Gun, he's a reserve. Dunvegan, 1 Run Wild Fred is currently 2A Permy. Jesus Christ. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Andrew, take the bones out of it.
Yeah, geez, hard race, as always. Mullins and Elliott, well stocked. Very hard to know which Elliott horse, if any, will be off for this race. You got horses like Run Wild Fred and Cocoa Beach, who theoretically can't win this race if they want to be winning a Kim Muir. So I don't know how those two will be ridden. Maybe one of them will be, tomorrow will be the day and one of them won't. Mullins' horses wouldn't do it for me. I think Acapella Bourgeois is plenty short of top weight. Brahma Bull has jumping problems. And it's like made a real lazy mistake at Tremor last time out. I just don't think it's actually that great a race. Usually there's one lurking in here that you think, oh, geez, it might be well ahead of the handicapper. And I can't really see one. And I'm taking a bit of a plod on one that may be returning to form. He's old. He is exposed. We ran well in this 2 years ago, and it's Alpha Day Zobo. I think you can get 25-1 out there. He's £3 lower than when he was second in this race 2 years ago to Invitation Only. Invitation Only was a proper Grade 1 horse running in a handicap, so that was a good effort. I don't think there's any Invitation Onlys swarming around this year. He's off 152. Rob James is on him. Rob James usually rides these Gordon Elliott horses off near enough top weight to good effect. Taking £7, he shouldn't be getting £7. Apparently, he's a very good point-to-point jock. So that's a bonus in itself. He'll start out in front. He jumps pretty sound. You're getting 6 places, I think, with the majority of bookies. I think if he can roll back the years in any variety, I can't see him out of the 6. One I was keen on, but he is a reserve, was the Big Dog. Completely the other end of the scale. Very young, improving horse, I think, was a well-touted novice hurdler a couple of years ago. He needs 2 to come out, though. But if he got in, I think he's 16-1, 14-1. I think he'd have a chance of 135. But Alpha Days Oboe, I just don't think there's a class act in the race. And, he's near enough top weight, but that's for a reason. And back in a handicap, he might run well.
If the Big Dog gets in, he wins. There's so much potential left in him. His run last time behind Longhouse Poet and Run Royal Fred, it was another step in the right direction. If he gets in, he wins. I'm that confident on him in that. But he probably won't. That's the thing. Tom, who do you think is going to come out on top?
There's 2 cliff horses for me at the top of the market here. Between Spyglass Hill, who I have followed him over a cliff now at this stage, and Cocoa Beach, who I agree with Dave on Cocoa Beach. He doesn't look like he wants to win. And I actually agree with Andrew on him as well. I'm surprised to see him in here, and I'm surprised to see him with blinkers on and Jack riding. It looks like they're going to give it a proper go. I thought he was one more for Cheltenham, but look, if they gave it a go and the blinkers worked, or Oracle, I think he's thrown in off 138 and 10 stone 6 on his back. To be honest, I think he's pretty much the right favourite when you go down for a few of these and look at his profile, the fact that they have got the blinkers on, and he's unexposed. I think he'll go very close. The one I will also give a shout out to down the field and down the betting a bit is 2A Perme. Has been campaigned in pretty high company this year. was second behind the Storyteller at Punchestown in a Grade 3. Was then third in the Grade 1 up at Down Royal, again behind the Storyteller. Fifth in a handicap hurdle then, which wouldn't really be his jam, and he was backed off the boards that day. Well beaten then at Leopardstown in the Savills. We'll forgive him that bad run. Is normally relatively consistent. You'll get a lot of places, I imagine, in this race. He's got Owen Walsh taken £5 off. And yeah, for your extended place terms, I wouldn't put you off 2A Permi.
Dave, who's your little selection in this?
I had the selections last week when the lads asked me, and it was the Big Dog and Cocoa Beach, and kind of the same reasons.
You abuse Cocoa Beach every time he runs.
Yeah, I know, but
this is true.
He's Jack Kennedy and blinkers on now, so.
And here comes the drink.
No, Tom said earlier in the year he thought Cocoa Beach was a handicap horse for later in the year, and it looked like Cheltenham. But to me, it looks like tomorrow they're going to go for it. He doesn't look like he wants to win. He looked like a horse that needed headgear. Headgear's tomorrow. Jack Kennedy's on. I think he'll go close. And I talked to you earlier in the day about it, Andrew. The Big Dog is just so much potential, but he probably won't get in, I'd say. And I already said to Tom to back the Big Dog for me, but I don't think he'll get in, to be honest.
What's with the Big Dog? I've seen him put up in other places as well, and
he's just been well held. He won his hurdle race around Gowran on Teeste's day as well 2 years ago, I think it was. One last year. It's just the way he's being campaigned. You can tell he's being campaigned for kind of getting into a handicap and then putting it all together. He's only carrying 10 stone 3 if he gets in as well. Like, there's just no weight, and that ground and everything. And the same as Andrew said, there's no real class acts in it. Like the last few years in this, Jack Adams won it, Invitation Only's won it, Total Recall won it. They're all proper graded horses. There's no horse like that at the top of the market, in my opinion, this year. So it could go to something lower down the market that's improving.
The reason I thought he might struggle a bit was just because, it's first time in a competitive handicap, and he's more of the big lazy bastard, the big clumsy bastard than the Big Dog, I think. So,
wow,
he's a clumsy horse. Like, he was clumsy over hurdle.
And he's clumsy drinking.
That's definitely not his first bottle. That is not his first bottle.
It's what happens when you pick it up off the floor, God knows what's in it.
How long is this here?
Andrew, I told you before the show started, I have a stash under my desk. Just about halfway through the afternoon, a bottle of wine comes out. And we have a glass to get us through the afternoon. But look, whatever helps you get through the day, guys.
Jesus Christ.
There you go.
Dog. Look, as I said, I think if the Big Dog gets in, he wins. But look, Acapella Bourgeois, he's 13-2 favourite. I have no reason whatsoever. He's higher in the waist than he was last year, and he only finished 6th last year. Why the hell is he 13-2 favourite? He done the same thing last year. He was second at Album Photo. He's second again this year coming into the race. Just can't have him. Spyglass Hill, I'm like Tom, I followed him off a cliff now, and I can't follow him off anymore. His run last time out, it's after being absolutely smashed out the door today with Animix getting absolutely whooped up at Thurles. So that's gone out the window for me. Brahma Bull, I can jump better than him. Cocoa Beach, I didn't like what I seen the last time. As you said, I don't think he wants to win at all. He needs blinkers to wake him up a lot. And he's second now 10-10. I didn't look at him. Dunvegan I like, but his jumping worries me a lot. He's an You want to talk about a cat jumper? This fella belts everything.
He jumps like the bushy.
In the bush. So he doesn't jump then. So then, in lines with the Big Dog, I've gone with Run Wild Fred. He was in front of the Big Dog last time, and he was behind Longhouse Poet, who, for the love of God, is the biggest. He's a plot job, if I ever seen a plot job. He won that race to get into a handicap at Cheltenham. He's going to win at Cheltenham, I reckon.
You have a wicked good record in this race, Andrew. I think last year is the first year in 6 you didn't get the winner of this.
Thanks for reminding me.
Who got the winner last year, Dave?
You did, Tom. Total recall. Well done.
Well on, Tom.
Move on.
Last winner I had.
You said it, not us. Yeah, I think Run Wild Fred. That's a hard name to say put together.
What, Fred?
So, Tom,
Wild Fred.
this is what happens when I don't drink. But yeah, I think he'll have a great shout in this today. Very lazy, awful lazy horse. He's like me, just couldn't be arsed. But the odd day he puts it together, he's very good. He ran well last time. Blinkers on him again today. I think the runner of the race will suit him. These are always run at a break-end gallop, so I think he'll get dragged into the race and be staying at the end. I think it'd be hard to keep out of the top. What are they paying 6 each way, 40 to 1?
Yeah, you get 6 somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, he's worth it. The one that is kind of forgotten about is Class Conti. I know his form isn't great since he was second in it last year, but he loves the mud. He'll run his race. I think he's lower. He's rated lower this year than he was last, or is he? Hold up now. No, he's a pound higher than he was last year, but still, last year's race was better than this. He finished ahead of Acapella Bourgeois. There's no reason saying he can't come out and run well in this. Presume this was his target for the whole season, but if the big dog gets in, I'll be very, very keen on him winning. But if not, Run Wild Fred for me. Now, that's Thursday's out of the way. We'll head on to Saturday and the Cheltenham Festival trials. My mouth isn't working today. So, Cheltenham 1240. JCB Triumph Hurdle Trial. Phone's working. Deadly. Prices work. No. Yeah, no. Tom, can you get prices? I can't get. They're not coming up for me.
The best odds say Nasalam 13-8, Adagio 15-8, Heros de Soy 6-1, Sage Advice 6-1, Honor de Orjac, that's not how you say it, 8-1, and Balin de Mesque 10-1. And Good Ball, because that one's easy to say, 10-1.
Well done. Go on, take it away, Tom.
It's difficult to know what's going to run here. I see Jamie Moore has jocked up on Nasalem. Be surprised if they ran Adagios again. That's what I was struggling with. I think the market is shaped by the two of them. And look, if they turned up, it'd be a very good race. I think Adagio would probably get the better of him again. I thought Heros de Soy is a little bit big at 6-1. It was a nice debut at Kempton. Not
he wasn't
quite
going to win, though, was he?
Yeah, probably not. But I still thought he was running nicely anyway. And at an each way price, just because I just don't know which of the front two or any of them are going to turn up. So.
Well, Jamie Moore's booked up on Nasalam, so you presume he's going to... Well, we're talking about Gary Moore, really, so God only knows.
Yeah, you would presume he's going to run. And to be fair, if you take that same phone line, then Honor Dorjak is jocked up. Chester Williams is jocked up on him. I wouldn't be too surprised to see him run well. It's interesting that Balin de Mesque has got an entry here for Gabriel Linders, who is a very good trainer over in France. And this horse was placed in a grade 1 last time out, has loads of experience over jumps. And it would be very, very interesting actually to see how he pitched up against this lot and where he stands. French
traders have a good record in this, don't they?
I've no idea.
You're meant to just go, yes, they do, Andrew, because no one's going to look up that. You just go, yes, you know what you're on about, Andrew. I have no idea if they do. It just sounded good in my head.
I have no idea. A French horse may never have run in this race before.
I know. I was just making up shit. Andrew, what do you think? I think, is it just between whichever Nasalam or Adagio turns up wins it?
Yeah, you'd like to hope that both of them would turn up. I don't know whether they will or not. I'm actually strong on that Chepstow form. I know a lot of people threw that race in the bin after it was run. I don't think those two horses are as far behind the Irish juveniles as some people are making out.
Who's crapping it?
No, there's an awful lot of people on Twitter because people think Zanahiyr, French Seal. Like French Seal, actually, this is one of my bugbears because I know some people really like him for the Triumph Hurdle. I could have beaten the horses in behind him home that day at Leopard's Den. Absolute dogs. The second and the fourth ran in a juvenile hurdle 2 or 3 weeks ago at Punchestown. And they were both absolutely whooped. Like, and you just know with Elmarie Holden, she's a selling yard. She'll have had the gun to that horse's head to be ready first day. So you get a big paycheck at the end. But it's no different to point racing. Like, they're not. Like, others. Anyway, sorry, that's off topic.
No, keep going. This is good. Keep going.
I just don't
Slate the point industry.
No, I think point industry is brilliant. I just think French Seal will be my lay of the Dublin Racing Festival in that Grade 1 juvenile hurdle. I think he will get whooped. I think Nasalam, I've backed him for the Triumph Hurdle, so it's quite biased at this stage. But he does have a little pull in the weights now with Adagio. He might be able to turn that form around. I think he's quite a good horse. I think at Chepstow, it just showed, I think he wasn't streetwise enough. Adagio kind of went past him like an experienced horse, and he kind of didn't really know what to do. And then right at the end of the race, got going again. I think he might know a bit more this time round. He's a lovely jumper, as is Adagio, to be fair. I think it's between the two of them. Can't have that Heroes de Soy. I don't think he would have won at Kempton. Can't believe the horse that fell is bigger than him, actually. Still thought the horse that fell, that, as Tom said, that Honor de Jonc or whatever, I think he's quite a smart horse. He might have a chance each way. But between the top two, and I would hope, certainly from my anti-post slips, that Nasalam could get the job done.
What are you thinking, Dave?
Sage advice from me, Dr. Richard Doolan's horse, Sam Twiston Davis. Juvenile race is always hard to quantify form, and they beat each other, and juveniles come out this time of year, then they're unheard of, and they'll beat other ones that are high up in the betting for the Triumph, and like horses that are touted all year then for the Boodles and so on and so forth fall away. So I'd go for something like Tom at a bigger price. I think Sage Advice won his first race very well. Shrewd enough trainer, and I like Sam Twiston Davis as well, so I give him a shot. Second race over hurdles. I'd say they're throwing him into this race to see if he's any Triumph hurdle capabilities, so I go for him.
Fair enough. I think it's as simple as whichever of Nasalam or Adagio turn up, one of them will win. If they both turn up, I'm nearly convinced that Adagio will hold up the form. I think he's so underrated. It's not even funny. He goes about his business so professionally. He doesn't even look like a 4-year-old. He's a big burly horse. He's fairly professional in what he does. I still think he's way too big in the market for the Triumph Hurdle. As Andrew said, like, there's a lot of hype between the horse over in Ireland. There always will be for some reason. I don't know why. But I think he's the best of the English, and I think he's overpriced at tens. If he turns up, I think he'll win. If Nasalam turns up and Adagio don't, I think he'll win. Horse de Soy, he wasn't going to win at Kempton. And the horse that fell, Honor de Jonc, he was going to beat him. And if the two of them turn up, I'd expect Honor de Jonc to uphold the form. So if none of the top two turn up, we'll go fucking going around in circles here. Honor de Jonc, but if whichever the top two turn up, one of them will win it. If both turn up, Adagio will win it. If that makes sense.
No,
I didn't think so. You shut up now, you little drunk little bitch.
One glass of wine, and that's it. And I'm just getting abused.
Get a bottle of wine.
Get a bottle of wine. Before you came in here, you had a bottle. Oh, I found a half a bottle. You did not find a half a bottle of wine. Tom Rain, you're a millionaire. You don't just find half bottles of wine around. You finish them. You're a pro.
Like an episode of Simpsons, Homer finding Duff beer under the bed.
Oh, yeah.
I sound really bad now. We drank half of it last night, and we put it back in the wine fridge.
A wine fridge? Not even a fridge. A wine fridge.
And then
We
Tom
got a new
stole it
kitchen.
this afternoon, so his fiance couldn't have any more.
Jesus Christ!
We got a
can't
new
wait.
kitchen last year, and it was the one thing I wanted was a wine fridge, so I got one.
I cannot wait till COVID's over. I want to see this wine fridge
I'll
And the
fill it
chet-
up before you come around.
and the Cheltenham Festival table.
Yes. Table paid for by Classical Dream, legend of a horse.
Good out. Who is now rolling around in his paddock, banging his head against a brick wall because he doesn't even know if he's a horse anymore.
Poor thing.
He come out now and bolt up in the Arkle Watch. Headbutting 6 fences on the way around. Right, on to the Paddy Power Millionaire Trophy handicap. Why can't Paddy Power just call races handicap chases? Anyway, 2 miles, 4.5 furlong. Midnight Shadow 9-2. Caribbean Boy is 11-2. Al Dancer 6s. Sapage is 7-1. Sully Ducka 7-1.
You don't
Okay.
pronounce the A at the end. It's,
You don't pronounce. So is Sully
it
Duck.
means that they've got like, yeah, it means that they've got like Arabian blood, or they're not full thoroughbreds anyway, something like that.
He's an Arabian jumping. Good Lord.
It's that they're not fully thoroughbreds. It's something like that. Hang
So
on,
they're
I'll
not-
find out. You keep going on, I'll find out.
They're not fully in the head then. Arabians are mental horses.
Yeah, don't back them. I've backed that Sully Dock before. I'm never backing it again.
Oh, yaks is all you are. But Old Granger with 8s, Benatar 8s, Master Whittaker is 9s, ASO is 10s, Happy Deva is 10s. That was for you, Dave. Puerto Rico at 12s, Clan Legend at 12s, and 16-1. Bigger the rest. Dave, are you going in on Happy Diva once again?
Happy Diva, Saturday,
Fucking knew
top
it.
one. Kerry Lee, Richard Patrick, get the money on.
Cliff Horses galore going to be shouted today. Go on, keep going. Give us more reasons behind this.
That's it.
That's it.
Saturday's the day. Forget about Cheltenham. Saturday's the day.
Hold up now. You're
Forget about
you're backtracking
Forget
so
about
far now.
the-
You're moonwalking out of the place.
Kerry Lee knows she's not going to beat Benny the Dieu in the Mayor's Chase. So Saturday's the day.
Take that pronunciation out of. Benny, did you? Oh, good Lord.
I think the Mayor's Chase is looking a better race than I thought it was going to be. So I think Kerry Lee's going to have Happy Diva ready to win on Saturday.
Fair enough. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, well, if Dave's back in Happy Dave, it's a real shame Windsor Avenue's not in this one turning out again. Geez, he'd have a right chance.
Cliff. I need to get a Cliff Horse button or something.
Yeah,
Press every time I get Cliff
will
Horse.
you stop?
They're all dead, though. They fell off the cliff and never got back up.
Your Cliff Horse won today, Alaho. You were straight away on the text message. Oh, they won. They ran. Really
I actually didn't see that.
legs.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. At least mine win.
To be fair, mine don't win ever. Between Windsor Avenue and the Mouse Doctor. Jeez, the Mouse Doctor.
Oh, you'd want to give up with him now. Jesus Christ.
The mouse starts is terrible. Every time it's entered, you're like, Andrew's going to tip this. And then you go on to Andrew's Twitter, and it's like, the Mouse Doctor. I think you put in brackets at one stage. I'm sorry.
Never been, I was sorry as well. Completely not sorry. I just live for it. Because every year, he wins once. And I'm on, and it's at no price either. Like, it's at 2-1 or something after backing him like 7 times unsuccessfully. But then he wins, and then I think he's going to improve again. He never does.
The one time you don't back him, let me know. I'll back him. He'll 100%
No,
win.
because I won't ever not back him. It's the same with Windsor Avenue. Like, I can't not back him now. Because I won't back him next time, he'll win. So
Isn't it the worst feeling ever when that happens? You back a horse about 4 or 5 times in a row, and then he bolts up as 33-1 or something. You feel like jumping off the roof.
I had one on the flat this year at a real low grade called Blanky Duty of John McConnell's. It was rated around 50. I must have put him up 4 or 5 times. Came second, came fourth, came second, came fourth. Forgot he was running one day. I look at the results. He won at 25-1. I was like, oh no.
And cue the bad mood for the day.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have any Cliff horses in this. I'm not sure about Midnight Shadow. I thought he might have a chance in the Brown Advisory if they went there, but they wouldn't want to win on Sunday if that's the case. Caribbean Boy, don't like at all. Al Dance is probably a solid enough horse, but I don't really like him. Sully Jock, same. I landed on Benatar just because I think he's quite well handicapped. I do think he's got a handicap in him. He's a bit of a nut. He's a bit of a he's a nutter of a horse, but he was third in a JLT a couple of years ago, ahead of Kemboy and stuff like that. He was placed off handicaps of 149, returned when he was third behind Chatham Street Lad of 142, mark unchanged. Unlike some of these, I don't think they'll have a plan for this horse at Cheltenham in March. So I think he might be there to run very well. And he's 8. I think you can get 10-1 in a place as well. I think that's a pretty good each way bet.
Yeah, before we go on to Tom, I just say, yeah, I agree with what Andrew said. Benatar, I think he's well handicapped. Ran well last time behind Cheltenham Street. Classy enough horse. They've time to make up with him, so I think he'll run well at 10-1. He'll be my pick in this. And Tom, you go.
First of all, that AA does indeed mean that they have part Arabian blood in them. So I'm going to continue the Cliff Horse theme of today's show.
Oh, let me guess. Caribbean Boy.
Yes. Yeah, I was so impressed with him at Newbury that I'm willing to forgive him Mascot. Where, look, he ran very well, but ultimately a little bit disappointing. Our little favourite Dasher Drasher came out and won well the other day. What's that? Form's been boosted, yeah. And Itchy Feet isn't a bad horse either. And yeah, look, maybe that just came a little bit too soon for him. It was only like 23 or 24 days after. He's had a little bit more time off now. And yeah, I'm gonna take a chance on him. One I'll just mention, I don't know if he's going to run it like he's complete outsider of the field, but the 13-year-old Henryville, Sophie Leach trains him. He's owned by a guy called James Finch, and he's been campaigned in France this year, and he's picked up savage prize money out there. Like for a 13-year-old horse, he's done so well. And yeah, fair play to him. He actually finished behind Zoffany Bay on his first start in France. And
speaking of Zoffany Bay, is he running tomorrow? Bay, or Friday?
Nervous. Zoffany Bay runs on Friday in an 80 grand handicap again. So fingers crossed for a clear round. Kevin Nabe rides him because Charlotte's injured. And yeah, fingers crossed. Let's hope he can do the business. 36 large to the winner.
I was going to say something about the jockey there, but I won't.
Going to be a lot of this drank on Friday morning. And
not only will there be a white wine fridge, there'll be a red wine humidity little fridge next to it. 36 grand.
No, hopefully he goes well. So
when Tom says hopefully goes well, he's going to win, lads.
You love putting the pressure on it.
Tom, I love seeing you crumbling. It's fun. You get all sweaty and agitated. We'll get a text now. Myself and David get a text at 8:00 on Thursday night. Lads, I can't sleep. I don't know what's going on. I can't wait for this race to be over.
I get so nervous. I can't believe you two don't get nervous when Shona runs.
He texted last day, I came home on Friday from hospital. He texted Saturday morning. Are you nervous? I was literally after waking up. I felt like saying, Tom, my heart don't work. I have other things to be worrying about rather than showing I'm running well. Like, oh, no, Tom. I remember I just text back, no.
Like, there's nothing we can do. Like, it's all in Rachel's hands.
I had to go for a walk and everything. I get really nervous before they run.
Yeah. I used to be like that when I played big matches. Not that. Like. Right, moving on. What was the selections again? I can't remember. Oh, Happy Diva, Benatar, and
Caribbean Boy.
On to the Cotswold Chase. Haydock de Moy is 2-1 favourite. Slotini is 9-4. Native River is 10-3. St. Cavalas 9-2. Lakeview Lad 8s. The conditional 8s. Yaki Enki is 10s. Mr. Monarchy is 16s. Good old York Hill lads on the York is 25s. And Lord de Mizil, however you say it, is 25s. Dave, is this going to be the day that Bristol de Moy gets it all together at Cheltenham?
No.
Damn it!
I hope York Hill goes for the race at Doncaster. Because I'm going to tip him up for that one. And this race, I'd go for St. Calvados. I give him one more try at 3 miles. He was travelling really well into King George, and then I think over the second last he started plodding a little bit, but give him one more shot at 3 miles. He runs well around Cheltenham. Obviously, that was 2 miles, but he ran really well in the Ryanair last year. I know you didn't like him kind of up until that day, Andrew. You were impressed by him against Min and Aplutard, who are proper Grade 1 horses. So I think he'd need to win this to have any realistic chance of going for the Gold Cup. So I'd give him a shot. I think the Native Rivers finished. Santini don't know how to win, and he's a dog. And Bristol de Moy is just a Haydock specialist.
I think St. Cavalas will be getting sick at the end of the hill at 3 miles. I like it for the Ryanair. I watched it back today. His run at Kempton. If ever he was going to get 3 miles, it was around Kempton, and he travelled so well, and then jumped the second last and went, don't like this. But look, if he wins, I'll eat my words. But I think Ryanair. I don't know why they're running him over this, especially on that ground. But yeah, Andrew, who do you think will win this?
Yeah, hard race. I'd agree with Dave about Santini. I really don't like Santini, and I think Henderson will find any excuse actually not to run him on the weekend as well. I know he's already kind of flagging up that he's about to cop out, and knowing Nicky Henderson, he will. It's a pity Colin Tizard, like there'd be more chance of me tipping it or me training a winner at the moment than Colin Tizard. Because if his horses were in good nick, I think Native River is an absolute cert in this race. I thought he would have won at Aintree if they had the fences in the straight. That would have put him ahead of Santini and Lakeview Lad. He'd be half the price he is if that was the case. Bristol de Moy, I could actually see him winning on the weekend, but I'm always reluctant to back him away from Haydock, even though I did back him for the Betfair Chase. I think at Haydock he is obviously an exceptional horse, but I think Native River could get an awful lot of these in trouble from the front. He absolutely put Frodon in his place at Aintree in terms of jumping in the first mile of that race, and Frodon obviously went on to win the King George somehow. So I think probably, even against my goodwill, I'm going to push up Native River and hope that it's one of those, like Paul Nolan's horses were running a stink, and then latest exhibition was still able to run well at Christmas. Like that, good horses don't know that the stable's in shit form, and hopefully he can do the job. And I would be looking out for the conditional to finish around a 20 length 4th or 5th before another very good crack at the Ultima this year.
It's very precise. I like that. Tom?
Yeah, I like one in this race. I think Bristol de Moy, if in fairness to him, lads, like he's run very well around Cheltenham before. I think he excels at Haydock because I think it suits him there. But I don't think he's not. It's not like he's bad everywhere else. He's just a £10 better horse at Haydock. But if he's ever going to win at Cheltenham, it's going to be on Saturday. Santini, I agree with Andrew. I don't think he'll run. I think he'll try and take him out for some reason. Then you get to Colin Tizard, who has had 0 out of 19 in the last 14 days. Hasn't had a winner in 43 runners or 36 days. He said the stable have had a bug, and I believe it. I actually think there's a few stables have had bugs over in the UK this winter. There's a few trainers who normally train a good few winners, and they've been terribly out of form. And I get the feeling there's a bug going around. You'll never find out because Nicky Henderson or Paul Nicholls hasn't got it. If one of them had it, you'd hear in the morning. But you're never going to find out about it. But yeah, I expect there's a bug going around a few yards. Another one of those is Harry Whittington's. 56 runners in the last 76 days, no winners.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. I couldn't tip St. Calvados in this anyway. I think he's a 2.5 mile horse. I don't think he wants 3 miles, 1.5 on soft ground around Cheltenham. That takes out him. That takes out Native River. The conditional, I really fancied him the last day. Really fancied him. I got stuck in betting wise as well. He doesn't like winning, I don't think. I think he had every chance to win the last day and didn't want to. Yala Enki surely isn't going to run, only ran 7 days ago. Mr. Malarkey is another horse trained by Colin Tizard. York Hill will hopefully go for that Doncaster race. Lord de Mesnil is probably just not showing good enough form at the minute. So that leaves one horse, and you can get 10-1 in 3 places about Lakeview Lad, who beat Santini and beat Native River. No, Dave? You're not having it, no?
Keep going. Okay.
But I just think when you go through all this, right? That's fine, Dave. That's fine. Lakeview Lad might be 11th. He's ran once at Cheltenham, and he finished 3rd, only beaten a few lengths by Beware the Bear at the festival in 2019 in the Ultima. Showed a high level of form at the last day at Aintree. I know there weren't any fences, but he showed he's still well able to do it.
It was a 3-mile bumper.
He can still jump though, can't he? He's a good jumper of a horse, so I don't think it hindered him any more than it hindered any of the rest of them. And you're starting to sound like you sound like Bryony Frost now. You sound like B going, oh, there weren't any fences.
Hold on, be careful now, Tom, or David taking the HR now. What happens when the podcast stays in the podcast?
I don't even know will St. Calvados stay, but I'll have a match bet that he'll beat Lakeview Lad.
Oh Jesus
St.
Christ!
Calvados.
I'd even take that.
Oh. Okay, Dave. Yeah, no problem.
You're a guaranteed stayer, but he's just useless. Like, if he wins this race,
guaranteed stayer. If he won a grade 2 last time out.
If he wins this race, none of the rest of the horses have any business in the championship race in Cheltenham. They may stop. Just stop.
This is my point with him though. Each way at 10-1, I think he's a cracking bet. So I think he'll fill one of the places definitely. I'm not saying he'll win. I really think he'll finish in one of the places.
I think you're right, because like Santini is not going on. Nicky Henderson will come up with bloody. Oh, he's at the bruising his eyebrow. We can't risk him for Cheltenham. Shut up, Nicky, you fool.
Jesus.
And Native River is as old as me and as broken as me, and he's trained by a trainer who can't train a winner because his yard is just riddled with a bug. If Colin Tizard's horses were in decent form, look, he'd have a good chance. St. Calvados will be heaving and hoeing himself trying to get up the hill. They can't have him over 3 miles in soft ground around Cheltenham. Lakeview Lad, look, he's a guaranteed stayer. He's not a sexy horse per se, but the conditional can go fuck himself after the last time. The bitch wouldn't go past the horse. Mr. Monarchy was one of a very few horses that went. What's up with you?
You got a meeting tomorrow. That's out the fucking window right now.
Look, this is what, if they want, this is what they sign up to. We're changing for no one.
You do realise that St. Calvados loves soft and heavy ground. Whether he stays or not is irrelevant.
He doesn't stay. He didn't stay around Kempton. He was nearly having a heart attack.
And what was the ground? Good to soft.
What was he
never
doing?
wins or anything.
On
He
the
never
flat
wins
over a
on
mile
anything.
forward.
And what was he doing? He was going backwards.
Are you tipping Lakeview lad as well?
No, I am not. Bristol and Moy wins, lads. It's as simple as
All
that.
right. Tom, 2 points.
It's as simple as
2 points in 2025, Dave. It'll cost me about 20 quid each as well at that stage with the inflation rate we're going to end
Hey,
up
look,
with.
I'll have a little bar built up in my attic by then. We'll all go there, like man cave. Be grand.
There'll be no alcohol then. They'll have that gone as well.
Somebody, I'll stab someone. Look, the way I see this realistically is the way Nicky Henderson is going on. Santini's not going to run, so you're not going to get 9-4, 2-1 on. What the hell are you doing? That frightened me a bit.
You're right there, Dave.
I had a clue what was going on. Oh, Blaz, look, Bristol. Wax on, wax off.
I was fixing the fucking laptop.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, look, Bristol and Moy wins, lads. As simple as that. Santini's not going to run. Nate River give him a nice little toe into the race. St. Cavados will be yakking up at the end of the hill. Lakeview lad be plodding on for second or third. Yaki Yankee won't run. Mr. Monarchy probably won't run. York Hill is going to Doncaster. That leaves you at Lord and the Zeal. Yeah, Bristol and Moy wins. Certainly. Oh, shit. He's not going to win now. I just said.
You said the wrong word.
Damn it. I was going to back him on. Anyway, moving on to the... What are we on to next? Cotswold Chase done too. Oh, I forgot to do this one. Next, we're going on to the Ballymore novice hurdle. I didn't do the graphics, I don't think. No. Bear Grylls is 6-4 favourite. We have Lecale's article? Lecale's?
Yeah.
Lecale's article. Annual Invictus. Wild About Oscar. Ashtown Lad. Fernhill. Bob Hope or No Hope. And 14-1. Big Out or Arrests. Tom, do you like this favourite? Looking good the last few times.
Yeah, has looked good. I'm going to take him on, though, with the Chaos article. Very impressed on his first start for Nicky Henderson and Newbury. Won his point-to-point very well as well. And, that'll do for me, I think.
Same race that Santini won last year as well?
Yeah. Perfect.
Andrew?
Shishkin, not Santini. Santini's not that fast.
That other, the other S.
See, this is what happens, right? He said this about French horses earlier, and I said, I haven't got a clue. And then he said, Santini won this, and I was like, oh, he must have. He knows Santini. I was like, yeah, that one, yeah.
I could have said a Hurricane Fly won this. Yeah, he did.
I don't remember last week, never mind last year. So
you want to lay off the drink then, wouldn't you? Oh, we're on fire tonight. Andrew, what do you like in this? I don't like this race.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a massive fan myself. I don't like this favourite at all, actually. He's been winning Mickey Mouse races. Can't jump for peanuts either. I think that might be exposed in a race like this. Look, I'm very sweet on Brave Man's Game at Cheltenham. Wild About Oscar was pulled up last time behind him. Looked like something went wrong before 3 out. Was travelling all right before that. Beat a few decent horses, one being Lord of Carac and the second one being Jock Pick Me, who's got good Irish point-to-point form his previous 2 starts. I'd give him a chance of bouncing back. He's ranked 5-1. I'd probably back him on the nose at 5-1, but I know some people would back him each way at that price. I think he's got a decent enough chance, and I'd be more than willing to take on the favourite at 6-4. And I see you pointing at Tom. He's not 5-2, so Tom can't find it.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a tip for Dundalk coming up, lads. Don't worry.
No.
Is it Lamb Loon?
No,
It don't matter who it is. It won't run like.
The declarations of it.
Oh.
That was the same at 2 weeks ago when you put up some Tracy Collins yak and then it was a non-runner 2 minutes after.
Exactly.
What happened to LeBroy? What happened to LeBroy?
He's still
but
running.
Catherick was off.
He didn't win. That horse will never win. I keep telling you.
And you told us to watch out for some Joseph O'Brien horse in that same race, and I think he came third last. I watched out especially for him.
Poor Tom's getting battered tonight.
You want
True,
to step
so
up and take
unimpressed.
that one.
But he needs to get Trevor Whelan off him as well. He needs to be back on Little Rockefeller, not riding 6 furlong goobs round Dundalk.
Goobs. Oh, what a word.
Oh, brilliant.
Dave, what is this?
I think Lekale's article will win and win it well. I reckon he's probably a decent horse. That Bear Gills don't jump well enough. If he wins jumping the way he jumped the last 2 races, he's an absolute monster. But he ain't running through a fence at Cheltenham and winning races. So
I agree. I think Lekale's article is a lovely price at 11-4. I was expecting him to be at least 6-4, 5-4. But look, I don't like Bear Gills. I watched him at Exeter last time. There was nothing impressive about his win. People are getting carried away by the ones, but the way he's doing it is it's not great at all. But people say, oh, what about First Flow? For these First Flow is doing it well. He won a few chases and he won them well. This fella isn't winning well at all. Lekale's article was very impressive. I knew it would be last time. One of the bigger price as well that is going to go unnoticed is Optimised Prime for Ben Pauling. He's been going about his business grand. He was sent off 9-2 on his debut. He ran no sort of race. Then he won a 50-1 next time out, and he won again, backed it up with a very good performance around Hereford. I was on running around Hereford, but these kind of races, you might get an odd horse placing. But when it all comes down to it, I think Lekale's article will be sprinting up the hill at Cheltenham. So, yeah, I think he's a nice horse, and he could go on to good things. This won't take long. The Cleeve Hurdle, lads. Paisley Park all day long.
yeah, Paisley Park. I don't even want to spend time talking about it, to be honest.
Wes, when do you make the rules?
It's just, I mean, what he raced against Time Hill and then what he beat the last day, there's nothing even remotely close to that. So penalties or anything else, he should. He might have his little push along moment, 3 out, but he should win this by a mile.
Everyone in agreement with this, surely.
Yeah.
Anything each way?
Didn't even look at the race, to be honest. Yeah, the only thing that will happen is Paisley Park will shorten, and it means I get a better price on Time Hill beating them in March.
You might get a better price. It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's sure to be. It's going to be a good race, whatever happens.
It is.
Some very good horses.
Look, Paisley Park wins, and I'll take Main Fact. I'll give him another chance. I love the little fucker. 7-1, follow him home. Right, leaving Cheltenham, going up north to Doncaster. The Lightning Novice Chase. Oh, look, this is another one, won't take long. Shiskin 1-4 on to a little schooling session to pick up a couple of grand around Doncaster. Yeah, okay, moving on. On to the 205. Why did I even put that in? If he gets beat, he should be shot. What are we on to now? Yorkshire Rose, Mayor's Hurdle, Grade 2. We've Floressa, 94 favourite, Maria's Rock at 5-2, Miranda, 11-4, Zambella, 8, and 12-1, bigger arrests. Andrew, which one is it? Nicky Henderson going to win this, or is Paul Nichols, or who do you like in this?
I'm not sure the horse I'm putting up. Like, she's a big price, so she mightn't win, but I think she's a good each way price in Raina's World at 12-1 for Phil Kirby. Phil Kirby won this race a couple of times with Lady Buttons, obviously. I just don't like the Henderson horses. Floressa, I'd have more than Marie's Rock. Marie's Rock was an absolute bust last time out. She looked a tricky ride at that as well. Floressa probably will go from the front. I would have a good chance. But Raina's World, she's been beaten the last twice on heavy ground. She doesn't really like heavy ground. Third in the Mayor's Novice Point Concertista, running well. if she gets a decent enough pace to aim at, which she should with Floressa in the race, she could come home well. I know Phil Kirby's yard think an awful lot of her. So I wouldn't be surprised if she snuck into a place. I'd love to see 8 or 9 runners so I could get 3 places on it. At 12-1, I think she's a fair bet. I would have Floressa over Marie's Rock in terms of the Henderson pair as well.
Tom?
Yeah, pretty similar, really. It's a tough one. I've never really been a fan of Marie's Rock. Floressa looks very tough in game. Interesting Nico's riding Floressa, or at least he's jocked up on her at the minute. Because I know they've always thought the world of Marie's Rock by the sound of it. Look, it's a really tough race. One who didn't run too well last week, but is jocked up and might run. And if it runs and it's 18-1, is probably a big price. And that's that Nanda to Prada. Got hampered the last day, but ran okay still. And might just run into a place maybe. And if it runs, I doubt it. Well, it won't be 18-1. So,
Dave?
Same as Andrew, Raina's World. She was beaten by Nada to Prada the last day at around Haydock, and she needs a strong pace to go through horses. She gets a strong pace, I'd say, with Floressa. Doncaster's tough at times, similar to Haydock. You can't be too far back or you won't make up the ground. It's a good front runner's track, but if he stays close enough to her, I could actually see her winning. I think she's way overpriced at 12-1. Way overpriced.
Fair enough. Good shout from the two of you. I give Maria's Rock another chance. Everything that could went wrong the last day. She decided to not remember how to jump hurdles, decided to try to take out 6 runners, just battering through horses for no reason. I'm happy enough to forget that run. She's very good last season. As Tom said, they seem to think very highly of her at Henderson's. Floressa, worthy favourite on the back of our win in the same race, and then 4th behind Silver Streak in the Christmas Hurdle. She'd be hard to beat. I can see where you're coming with your pick. Irish Rose, another one who loves Doncaster, always runs well there. If she turns up, she'd run a good race. But I think Maria's Rock back to her best will be hard to beat. But you need to take everything that's on trust that she's back to her best on the back of last time. But it's a hard race, as you said. But look, your one has a great chance. Your one is definitely way overpriced, 14-1. But I think Marie's Rock comes back to her class that she's shown last season will be hard to beat. But yeah. Moving on. The 240. Alba Bartlett trial. Amir Sakri is 7-2. Flash Kalange is 5s. Ashtown Lad 6s. Aska Honeybee 7s. Pat's Fancy 7s. Shangtang 8s. Bob Hope and No Hope 8s. And 10-1 Bigger Arrest. Andrew. Pick the ball out.
Yeah, no, really keen on one in this, actually. Kim Bailey's horse, Bob Hope or No Hope. I think he's well overpriced at 8-1. I know he's entered up he's in that Ballymore race at Cheltenham as well. I'd be surprised if they ran him there. I'd hope they run him here as well. I think he's got a live chance actually in the Bartlett. I think his form's pretty decent. He beat Aska Honeybee at Exeter over 2-5, kept finding Aska Honeybee's shorter in the betting for this. Can't understand why. And I know it's not maybe the greatest thing to go on cross form lines, but he beat a horse called French Paradox, 21 lengths back into 5th, or back into 6th at Doncaster. And French Paradox went on to beat Flash Kalange next time out. And Flash Kalange is 4 or 5-1, I think, in the betting, and Bob Hope or No Hope is 8-1. Step up to 3 miles, I think, will suit this horse down to the ground. And I'm expecting a really, really big show. He'd be one of my stronger bets of the weekend.
Good. Tom, how are you seeing it?
Pretty much the same as that, actually.
Sharing notes again, I see.
Sharing notes, yeah. I thought his form is strong. He's been impressive last twice. Kim Bailey's having a fantastic year. I thought if there was one that was overpriced there, he was the one.
Dave?
I'd be looking away from the top of the market, the same as Andrew and Tom, and I would be siding with Castle Robin. He was sixth in the Lanzarote at Kempton. I wouldn't say the track suited him all that well. And the time before that, Nicky's horse's favourite. The time before that, Nicky's horse bet him at Ascot after Castle Robin was after winning 2 handicaps. He's still a novice going into the Lanzarote against more seasoned hurdlers. I wouldn't put down as a bad run. You go back to the run against Nicky's horse. He gave Nicky's horse £11 and Nicky's horse bet him by 1.25 lengths. They're off level weights now. Nicky's horse is near 3-1. Castle Robin is about 14, 16-1. I think that is very much wrong, and people are overlooking him because he came sixth the last time.
Just give the real reasons why you're backing it.
My godson's name is Robin too, and I will definitely back any horse that's named Robin.
Like, I didn't have this whole form thing in line to go on Castle Robin, so I'm just going to copy and paste what they've said. He is one of my... I have 2 in this who I really like. Castle Robin, one of them. It's not even because of the name. I backed him last time out and the time before when he's beat by Henderson Joke. He's a very good horse. He's learning on the job. He's very overpriced, 14-1, but I think Flash Clonge, he's a big baby. I know he got beat by the horse. What's the horse name, Andrew? Again?
French Paradox.
He got beat by that 2 runs back. He looks just like a big baby. He fell in the race, won by Bob Hope and No Hope. He won last time out, fear and left, fear and right. He hit the front. He didn't know what to do. Second, Harry Cobden got stuck into him. He straight and off he went. I know he has to come on and learn a lot from that, but it's just the way he goes about, the way he carries himself. I think there's a lot of improvement to go on. The fight, the one's a bit skimpy for what he's done, but I think there's a huge engine underneath the bonnet. He'd be one of my big fancies for the weekend. And what's the name? Castle Robin is one big bike each way. I know it's in the same race, but 14-1 is way too big for what he's done. Yeah. Just the last one now. Last one. The Sky Bet Chase over, what was it? 3 more. We have Captain Orr, 5-2. Canelo at 5-1. 1 for the team 6s. I Write at 8s. Music is Slave at 8s. Mr. Malarkey 12s. Give Me a Copper 12s. Rocky Treasure 12s. And 14-1. Bigger the rest. Dave, York Hill going in again.
Right, you know what? This is going to be called the Cliff Horse episode, right? Because they're talking about missing out on horses, and I swear to God, we have backed York Hill every single run since he was actually good back in the days of winning the old Ballymore and the JLT. That's the Marsh now. And the one time we didn't back him, he wins the 60-61. So I'm backing him no matter, even if he didn't have any form, I'd back him. But
I cried a little that day.
I do think if he races the same way that he raced the last day around Doncaster, it'll suit him. The favourite, his form at Royal Pagoi, is the right favourite, and he should be most likely winner. But I'd be taking York Hill as for his back form and what he showed the last day. That maybe the new trainer in the new yard has brought him back to some sense of normality, because he became an absolute utter Looney Tune his last 2 years at Willie Mullins.
He was always a Looney Tune.
He was like Mum's Tipple. He wanted to run backwards instead of forwards.
That's true. He's not as bad as Mum Tipple, though. That thing is gone in the head.
That's going to be gelded next year and win some race around Lingfield and absolutely backed off the boards. And I won't have backed it that time.
Rightly so, though. You get back that thing with any confidence.
I'm never backing that thing again.
Hey, lads, Mum Tipple's running. We back her? Yeah, go on, so focus.
No, never again.
Tom, who are you going for in this?
I am going to go for horse.
What?
Oh, look, I'd be cheering on your kid. I'd love to see him win. He's a dude of a horse.
Put a fiver on it.
10, 20, 30, lump.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
The horse who I'm going to tip here is Sojourn of Anthony Honeybells. Stable have been in really good form this year and are still in good form. Was beaten by Sam's Adventure at Haydock last time out. That's good form. Had bolted up the time before it. I'd give him a good shout if he's a bit big.
Andrew?
Yeah, similar enough going for one at an each way price. I just think if he can get his jumping together, I think the Butcher said has a very good chance, 16-1. Look back, he was obviously jumping up sides, the big breakaway at 2 out when he made a bad mistake in a novice chase at Cheltenham. He didn't jump very well the last day behind York Hill, but off 139, he has one of these races in him. Ollie Murphy's horses as well have completely turned the corner since then. They were running stink back in December. They're now running well. He's doing quite well, and I think this horse has managed to be on a decent enough mark at 139. And I don't want to put any rain on the parade, but just with the way Sandy Thompson is, I could easily say that York Hill will run at Cheltenham rather than this race.
Why?
It's just the trainer, though.
You didn't have to say it like.
Yeah, why did Bells Hill run in the Betfair chase? Like, no reason, like, other than just your man. Like, it's Lee Westwood and your man Dave Armstrong or something. They want horses in the big races, and I just wouldn't surprise me at all.
By York Hill anyway, and I know Andrew is going to say York Hill's going to win as well. Yeah, come on.
Come on, the York. I look. There's no secret that me and Dave love this fella because he just reminds us of us, absolute lunatics.
Yep.
No, not well in the head.
No, not whatsoever.
I would say uncontrollable.
Yeah. Do what we want when we want. And the odd time when we do what some people want us to do, we're very spectacular at it.
I think
like when I listened to managers when they played football.
The JLT that he won, I think that is the best ride Ruby ever gave any horse.
Possibly.
He stuck him in against the rail in between 3 horses, so he couldn't go anywhere else. And then
you stay there now.
Literally jumped to the front and he stopped and tried to give the race away.
Legend. Look, we weren't on the last time, and I did nearly shed a tear that day. 66-1. How the name of God didn't I put anything on him? Look, if he turns up here, 66-1 or 16-1, is still overpriced for like the form he showed. If he comes back into that, improves another bit from that, he's a very, very, very good horse still. Look, Captain Ord is the worthy favourite. He bolted up the time before. He was second behind Royal Pagoi at Kempton. He beat Canelo in that race. There was, I think it was £16 between them. Now there's only 7 in Canelo's favour, but still, I still think he'll beat him. There's a lot of money for this Nick Williams horse, one for the road. He was 25-1 at one stage, and now 6-1. I don't know where that's coming from. Give Me a Copper would interest me on the run of behind Rocky Treasure last time at Doncaster. He finished like an absolute train, but I don't know if that was just Rocky Treasure stopping up in front. Tom's horse I like, but I backed him the last time, so I hate him now. But York Hill, look, wherever York Hill runs, I always back him. It's not a bloody looking into it and he's had this form. It's York Hill, I'll back him. There's no real thought in behind it. But if I was nailed down to a proper selection without York Hill, I'd take a chance on Give Me a Copper 12-1. I think he's overpriced at that. I think the trip suits him, the ground suits him, the way he'll be running will suit him. He'd be a decent price come today. But come on, York Hill. Right, finish off with naps and next best. We'll go right to left, Dave. We'll go with you first.
My nap is in a race we didn't talk about, 1:15 at Cheltenham on Saturday. The same race that Simply the Bets and Imperial Aura came first and second in last year, and then went on to the festival. Kim Bailey has a horse in it that was second to Royal Pagoi at Haydock. It was favourite that day, called Esport de Rome. It's usually a decent enough race for some of the novice chasers in England, and I think he will win. He's my nap. And my next best is in Shishkin's race, Cheddleton without the favourite.
Tom, I'll say it's okay. Are you well?
What's wrong with Cheltenham without the favourite? Shishkin's going to win, like.
A pricey with the favourite.
I don't know, I couldn't find it, but he's 11-1 in the race anyway, so you get about 3-1, I'd say.
Fair enough. Tom?
I'm going to go for Lakeview Lad each way as my nap. The Cotswold Chase. I think you'll be picking up some each way money there. I'm nearly certain of it. I'm going to back him. What now? Like what? Dare I even ask what now?
You're definitely drunk. You are 100% drunk. There's no other explanation for this. Like,
No, it doesn't make sense to me.
And his next best is going to be what did Andrew call the things running around Dundalk? A noob?
Goob.
A droob running around Dundalk. Go on, tell us, Tom.
No. My next best is going to be Sojourn in the 315 at Doncaster, each way again, 12-1. I'm going to play a bit of the each way double on the two of those at decent prices. I think there's a high chance of collecting the each way element in that bet. The Dundalk bet is in the 5 o'clock at Dundalk on Friday. Is a horse called Gonna Dance a Lot. Makes its debut for Kieran Cotter. Has been placed multiple times for Kieran Cotter. Has been placed multiple times in the UK, and Kieran's been in fantastic form this year. And Decky McDonough has ridden a good few of them for him. I'm just getting the stats on that now. But this horse, anyway, is down to a mark of 65. Has had 92 days off, and let's have a look. Declan McDonough. So since even just since the turn of the year, has had 6 rides, has won 2 winners and a second for him. In a race where emphatic will probably be the favourite, but there's a lot of horses in that you would not mind taking on. So I think she'll run a nice race.
Dark Magic will beat.
I was going to say, do you want to do a match bet with Dark Magic?
Go on, so yeah.
So that's 2 match bets, so that's 4 points.
It's 4 points, yeah. I'll take that.
In Hostel the Halligan in my attic in 2024.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah, my nap also comes in a race. We didn't cover the Solarina at Fairyhouse. Looks a pretty decent race. I don't think this Galwa is as good as people are making out. I think she's at the top of the mare's novice betting just because she's trained by Willie Mullins. And I think Royal Kahala is going to absolutely whoop her in the Solarina. I think if Royal Kahala this year, like if Gypsy Island had achieved what Royal Kahala has achieved this year, Gypsy Island will be 2-1 for the mare's novice hurdle. I think she's absolutely class. And I've backed her a couple of times. She thrashed Hook Up and Delvino last time at Fairyhouse. She loves Fairyhouse, travels on the snaff. She does have to give Galwa £2, but her form's better. I think she's a better horse, and it wouldn't surprise me if she wins and it goes top of the mare's novice betting.
I like that.
Fair play to the Winning Ways Startlet Syndicate, who own that horse. How JP doesn't own that horse in that right now, I don't know. She's looked an absolute aeroplane. She'd be worth a lot of money, that girl.
She's very good.
And my next best is Bob Hope or No Hope in the Albert Bartlett trial at Doncaster. I really quite like him.
My nap is Bristol the Moy. He'll finally win around Cheltenham. And my next best is Flash Clunge in the Albert Bartlett trial at Doncaster. And that is us done for another week. An hour and 20 minutes in of absolute unbelievable tips.
Quality content, that lads.
Quality.
Especially the one at Dundalk.
If anyone wants a laugh, just re-watch Dave when Tom's talking about Dundalk. I was struggling to contain laughter. Dave there.
Facial expression.
I was looking at it on my phone going, what the fuck is this?
Where's he getting hits out of it all?
Oh, when he said your man's name, I genuinely never heard that person ever.
I never heard him before.
Never
I
heard
wasn't even taking the piss. I was like, who's, as Conor McGregor said, who the fuck is that guy?
Come on, guys. He's a very, very good trainer.
I can't even remember his name. That's the guy on the shoot. What's his name again?
Kieran Cotter.
Never heard of him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
He's a very, very good trainer. Andrew, you will even back me up here. Isn't Kieran Cotter a good trainer?
Yes, but specialises with sprinters, not milers.
Oh.
It's true. Like, where are your stats on that?
Yeah, it does have a lot of sprinters. I'll give you that one. But at least this is a mile horse and not a 2 mile horse.
Fair enough. Look, best of luck with him, Tom. I hope he wins.
Thank you, Andrew.
Be nice for you to get off the market Dundalk this season. Right.
Yeah.
That's us done. What do I think of it? We have announced last night, that our Cheltenham Festival preview will be live on YouTube and Facebook on the 26th of February, which is a Friday at 7:30. You'll see the 4 of our lovely mugs absolutely killing each other for a good. So look, it could go on till the start of the Spring Novice Hurl. We could be still here. Look, you'll see Tom extra drunk. You'll see Andrew extra drunk. You'll see Dave can't drink, so
I probably had a few drinks that night. It's just at that stage it'll be like 12 weeks since I was in hospital, so I don't give a fuck. I'm having a few drinks.
If I die, I die.
Is Dundalk on that line?
I won't die. Well, I hope I don't.
If you mention anything running on the Friday of Cheltenham in Dundalk, I swear to God.
I meant is Dundalk on the night of the preview?
It probably is.
Probably is.
Just saying, it must be.
It's always on.
It's literally a greyhound track, like.
It's a bigger version of a greyhound track with horses running around it. We'll have a little Dundalk Timper competition live while it's on.
We'll have to have a few bets at Dundalk while we're doing it. It'll be good crack. You won't get that on any other Cheltenham preview this year anyway. Live bets at Dundalk throughout the preview night.
The shit that comes out of our mouth, you won't get anywhere else either.
I have to save money for that night because I won't be making any. I'll be losing it. Man.
Back. Oh, I know what's going to happen. You're going to have Lamloon primed to run that night, aren't you?
It just crossed my mind.
Lamloon's going to run that night. Oh, we're going to lose our shit on the podcast.
Imagine we're live and Lamloon wins a race at Dundalk. It'd be mental.
Imagine we're live and Lamloon actually runs.
Andrew, you could have a horse running there as well.
Yeah, I could do. Probably the same. Well, no, not the same
race.
Imagine. That'd be brilliant. Come on, Lamloon.
That'd be good crap.
That'd be brilliant. I hope that happens.
What's the name of your horse, Andrew?
We've got 3 or 4 with Kieran. But the one that actually might win soon enough is the horse called Drummond Lad. He'll run. He's the type of horse that Tom would put up. He'll run in a 45 to 65 around Dundalk over a mile, and
that's the Harties, is it?
Yeah. He ran a nice race last time. He was off for a while. Came 6th a couple of weeks ago. We're just struggling to get him into a race. He's well at home, but we've been balloted out 4 times in the last week and a half. It's a bit frustrating, but look, hopefully we'll get a race soon enough, and if we got a winner or something, that'll be absolutely epic. So
you should dip your toe into the old Pimlico little lake over there. Lake of winners, substance, superstars, future Cheltenham Festival winners.
I will dip my toe in when there's a Pimlico horse with Paul Nolan. There, that's what I need.
Hey, Tom, he'll just buy the whole horse. He'll be sorted.
Like Paul Nolan's down there with you guys. Like he's surely down the road. Like
Yeah, he's close.
Henry's closer.
Henry's closer, yeah.
Henry's closer.
Henry's like 3 minutes away from here.
Paul Nolan's just the man, though.
I'd love to go on the piss with Paul Nolan. Say some crack.
Good crack, all right, yeah.
Either that or you deck you. One or the other.
I don't know. He's a nice guy, Paul.
Right. That's us done for tonight. We are back on Sunday. Well, we're doing our anti-post video now, but we're then back on Sunday live at 8 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook, where we'll be going back over all the Cheltenham Festival tries from Doncaster and obviously Cheltenham. So again, lads, thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, comment below with your best bets of the weekend, and we see you again on